Hi everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Firebrand plane. It's my most detailed jet. As you can see, it has very nice wings, canards. It has 3 air intakes, 1, 2, 3. It has a cockpit and a machine gun and the engines at the back. It's a really nice plane. It's also very complicated. So this is going to be one of my longer videos. So you're going to want to have a square sheet of paper, and basically what you want to do is first fold it in half diagonally. Then again, I'm sorry about the shadow. After that, you're going to want to fold this edge to here. Same thing on the other side. Then you're going to fold from here to here. You're going to unfold these two, and you're going to take this edge, these two edges, and fold them to here. To that edge right there. To that there. Fold these back in. Then we're going to fold right along this layer, and also take this flap. So we're folding these two down. Make sure this edge, sorry about the shaking camera, lines up with this edge. And before you finish that crease, go to the back and make sure that this is all even. Go to this side. Same creases right here. All right, now you're going to fold this tip right along this edge. You're going to fold from this point to this point. And then we're going to squash fold this. Then open this up and make another crease right there. Same thing on this side. Right. Now we're going to open all this up, and we're going to take this whole crease right here and drag it down to this edge. Increase all the way. gonna unfold this triangle right here. Same thing on the other side, of course. And now we're going to take both of these creases that we just made, and we're going to do a rabbit ear fold on them. Then we're going to take this crease right here and drag it down to this edge. And after you did that, we're going to open up this pocket right here. And we're gonna squash fold this. And then you wanna go, see these two creases? Right, you wanna make sure that basically this crease is lined up with this crease on both sides. Fold this up. I know the lighting's not the greatest, but yeah, just like that. Fold this triangle down and fold it back up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold along this crease and continue it. Same thing on the other side. Open this up, and then we're going to do a petal fold along that crease right there. Oops. Now we are going to fold in like this. Right, see, so you're bringing these two layers in. Can I zoom in? Yep. Fold from here to here, fold that up. And fold this flap down. Then, right now, we're gonna unfold this and we're gonna fold like this way. You don't need to do it all the way. You could if you want, but we mainly just need this hinge crease so that we could take that layer out for a sec. We don't want this layer right here interfering with the step we're about to do, which is the hardest step. You'll see in like a step or two. You basically want to swivel fold this and then squash fold this section right here. Same thing over here. And here's what is really the hardest step. So first you might want to take this out, take that whole thing out, right? And we're just gonna like flatten all this. So basically what we want to do is we want to get this flap on the inside is what we're doing here. So to do that is, if you want to do like a closed squash fold, a closed sink fold, then that's okay. But the problem is it's very hard to do it because you can only really do it on one side at a time, but you need to do it on both sides to actually get it in. Now it's gonna get a bit messy, or you could try to figure out what creases to, you could like open this up, try to figure out how to do it the more technical way, which I believe is like this. So for me, usually I'd end up somewhere like this, and then once I end up in that spot, I'll kind of, then you need to get this whole flap inside. Right there we go. So that's clean. And now I'll do this other one. So it might be a bit of a tricky step, but I'm gonna let you guys see the crease pattern that's right there so that you could copy it, and then you're just going to sink this just like that. You're gonna want to open this pocket up to try to flatten anything that's like looks bad. Right, so obviously this is going to become the cockpit, and this is going to become the front air intakes. Now we want to put this thing back. Right, so after you do that, you're gonna want to take this edge right here. You see how we have this crease right there? You want to land it on this crease, and I'll show you. When you land it on the crease, this layer has to match a crease with this layer behind it. After you do that, you fold that flap, sorry from the camera, fold that flap back along the center, and you do the same thing on the other side. And then you want to squash fold this, land that right there. And then you're going to pedal fold along that. along that crease. So your plane should now look like this. And then we're going to get it to this position. I need to fix this nose. Sorry about the camera once again. So now we've basically formed like the base of the plane and stuff. So now what you're gonna want to do is you want to inside reverse. You're basically sync folding those two flaps because we want them on the outside or inside or whatever. Depends. So point is we want them right here instead of out there. So now as you can see our cockpit's right there. This is our air intakes. And now we are going to open this, right? See, open that, fold along this crease, and then we're gonna fold along. There's another crease, there should be another crease in here. Fold along both of those. Until you get to this step, right? And then just flatten that out and make sure that this edge lands on itself. Same thing on the other side. Open this up. All right, once you got that all figured out, you're gonna go in on the inside here and just fold this, just fold that up. After that, you are going to basically inside reverse this. We're gonna get this tip to land right here. Make sure everything's neat. So you can have this excess layer. Same thing over here. Wow, this is tough. All right, so you're gonna want to fold this in half. And other way too. Same thing here, fold it in half this way and this way. and then your rabbit ear you're doing a rabbit ear fold along. See that little bit right there? And you're closing it up. Now you're going to inside reverse that because we want this layer back right now. And then we're folding this way, this way, rabbit ear fold, and squash fold. Now that we've got that, we want to fold. So now let's keep it like this, and we are going to petal fold here. Fold like this. Sorry about the shaking. Then you're gonna wanna fold. I'll show you what I do after I do it. Basically folding from this corner, and you're landing this edge on itself. Fold that. And then we're gonna copy that on this side. And then squash fold this. Right, so after you have this, you rabbit ear fold it and squash fold this. You can now fold this down because basically we want to look. So we have this crease running along. It's a halfway point between here and here. And once we get to here, this part, right, this is a gun. So the inner layer right behind here, we want to sink that up. So it needs to go up. Right, so what you could do is This is going to be a valley fold. This is going to be a mountain fold, and this is going to be a valley fold. As you can see right there. And it's sort of kind of tricky, but I will get it, and you will get it as well. See? Easy. So now that section, we move that up, and we need to squash fold this again. So open this part up. No, diddy. And then we move this to one side, and we're swivel folding this just like that. Right, so basically this edge of this layer is going to land on there. And there should be just, see, right here and right here, there should be a tiny bit of paper left. And now we're gonna fold this down. And fold this down there. This is gonna be our gun. Fold. Now here's the tricky part. Each side of this gun we're gonna fold into thirds. So each side right, that's folded into, I folded 2/3 of that, and I fold 1/3 of it back. I'm gonna open that up. And then fold 1/3 here. And 1/3 back. So that's gonna be our gun. Now I gotta fold this, and inside reverse 2/3 of the gun. Very carefully. Then carefully, this part's not going to stick, but you kind of want to open up that flap and put that tab inside. Now fold this 1/3. What the hell? What's my cat doing there? You're gonna want to fold this 1/3 back in. So So we got half our gun complete. Right, and fold this flap to one side. Fold a third of the gun this way. This time it kind of doesn't really fit under the flap, but that's not really the point. That's just, usually it releases from the flap anyway. So yeah, that usually won't hold itself together very well. But that's fine, because now we got this gun. And then we can fold in like this. Want to take this tab and just tuck it over there. Then we're going to take this, see that crease right there? Just bringing it up and making a crease right from there to there, and they're making another crease from here to here. Sorry, that went off camera for a bit. So around this point it might get a little messy, but make the fold here as well. So we're gonna have to fold these in half soon, but we'll just leave that for later because it's gonna get messy. So right now we're going to swivel this, and there's going to be a crease that you just have to refold. It goes right along there. Now you're gonna see this pocket right here opens up. You're gonna fold this edge to this edge, to the center. So this edge should land on itself. Do the same thing right here. This edge should always land on itself, even at the back. fold that in, fold that in half. And now you fold this crease, you fold that into the center. And right now we're making the, as you can see, we're making the canards. Just folding that there, and fold that into the center. Then we're folding along this edge. It's gonna naturally open up. So we're just inside reversing that. Same thing right here. Right, and then you wanna inside reverse those two. Right, so as you can see, we have a plane is kind of taking shape. So right now, I'm going to do this step where you take this and this, and if you look in there, there's some paper that we want to just slowly pull that out. But then this layer is gonna get trapped in there. So make sure to get this layer out. Fold that in because we're gonna continue working on the canards soon. Same thing here. Just pull these two apart slowly so that it doesn't, God forbid, rip. And take this out, fold this in, and we'll just keep it. We're just going to keep it this way till we have to work on the canards again, which will be soon. Now we need to do a sort of petal fold right here. So first we're going to swivel it like this, but then we're going to have it like this, so that, you see, that crease lands on that corner. Put it in this way, and then petal fold the other side. Oh, whoops, that's off camera a bit. Petal fold that. First, you're gonna wanna swivel it that way, and then you're gonna wanna go all the way till there. Now we're opening that back up. And now we're going to swivel one side like this. Swivel one side like this. Swivel them together to create a rabbit ear fold. Now we are going to fold this down just a bit past here. You're gonna want to fold it. See that point right there? I'll mark it down. Right here, where those creases intersect, you want to fold it just past there, and that's for a good reason. So that when you swivel this, basically, you see this flap is going to lock our plane together. And if you don't have this thing a bit short, then the front of this air intake and that flap are going to like be right together, and they're not gonna, it's not gonna fit because they can't both be in the same spot, right? So now you want to open this up and crease along here and kind of pull that all the way down. Same thing for right here. Now we have to fold, I believe it's this flap we have to inside reverse, but let me just double check. Yeah, it looks like it's this flap. I always get confused. Right, so I had to kind of destroy this one a little bit, but to find out the answer. But yes, it is this flap right here. This flap is gonna have to go in. And then we're going to go on the other side and push it in the other way. Same thing here. Might get a little messy, but so we're gonna have it like that, and then I think it should be time to work on the canards now again. So first what we're gonna do is open that up, and as you can see we have this layer right here. So we're gonna fold on that. And I'll show you what I did right now. you're probably not going to be able to see it right now, but there's actually a crease. There should be some sort of crease ending there. Yes, I believe it's this one. Right, so if you want to see it, you just open that up and fold it down like this layer to this crease, right? And then you're folding from inside there to that crease. After that, you're going back on this side and you are making a new crease right here so that this edge lands on that edge. And you're gonna close that up and make a new crease, and it should land right there on that crease right there. Let's do this step on the other side. Find this layer right here. Make a crease along there. I'm gonna reinforce that crease so I can see it better. Make another crease from right in there to here. And same thing, make sure that that layer lands there and make a new crease that ends right there. Now what we're gonna do is first, I like to reinforce all those creases and right here so that right now we're going to inside reverse. Basically inside reversing that whole thing so that everything ends up on this layer. And now if you have a bit of paper, you're gonna have a bit of paper left right here. So what we're gonna wanna do there is we are going to fold, see this layer right here? We're gonna fold that back right there. Then inside reverse it. Alright, as you can see, it kind of curves because I kind of also did a bit of a swivel fold with the extra paper I had there. We do that obviously so that it doesn't get caught, so that the paper doesn't get caught. And now we have to kind of open this up, and we're pushing everything inside. And also inside reversing that. Same whole thing on this side. reinforce this crease. And now fold along there. This paper is kind of stubborn. Right, so now that we've got that, push this under the flap and inside reverse that point, right? And then we're gonna turn that over. I gotta fix something right here. Make sure that tab is still in there. Yeah. Now we're going to swivel fold along the... Okay. We're going to swivel fold along there. So it ends up like this. And now we could kind of open this up and fold that back. We'll fold all these layers in later. Same thing right here. Swivel fold. And then just open this up, make sure it doesn't get messed up, and just reverse that. Doing it very slowly. And we'll tuck all those layers in later. So as you can see, right now we have, so basically we're very close to getting finished. The video is going to be actually a lot shorter than I thought. I thought it was going to be like 2 hours. So we got the canards. We're going to now fold in, fold this edge to the center. Swivel folding, and this edge lands on itself like that. Same thing here. Swivel that, and then actually unreverse this because I just have one last step I'd like to do with this part. Just fold this edge up to here. Right, so swivel that until it meets this point behind it, which it will then also meet that point. So swivel it down, inside reverse. And we'll just sink this. Same thing on this side. Fold this up to here. Okay, found my cat running around. Everyone say hi to Bubbles. Okay. So inside reverse that. Then I'm gonna just sink fold that. Ooh, my cat's now rummaging through something. Now, huh. What did I forget? Never mind. We're gonna fold. Okay, that is weird, huh? Something feels wrong. Nothing's wrong. What the hell? Yeah, never mind that. Nothing's wrong with this. Thought I was doing a step wrong, but I'm actually doing it right. So, where am I? Some sort of trick. Oh yeah, I could see what happened. So, it's actually the wrong layer. We are going to basically unfold it back to here and, sorry. Alright, I did get something wrong. Just, sink fold the other layer, actually. Shouldn't take a while, so it's gonna be alright. Right, and then we could just push this flap forward. You see, it's okay. It doesn't take a lot of time to fix that mistake. And then we're going to fold folding from here through that point, this point right here. I'm gonna switch this one around too. Push that flap back in. Move this out of the way and just fold that up. We'll get all this back to where it was. Alright, so it's the same stuff. We just flip that other layer back around. And then just fold this down so we could reinforce the wings. So it could potentially fly better. Right through that point right there. Hope you guys see it. So basically the body of the plane is pretty much, yeah, it's done. So now there's not a whole lot to do left. There's not a whole lot left to do. Except we just gotta fold. See right there we have 2 layers. So you wanna fold the outer part. Just tuck that in. Same thing here. That's for our front air intakes. I'm gonna fold this thing in half. That flap in half. And I'll fold that outer section. I'll fold that in half again. And now we're gonna wanna fold this thing in half finally. Maybe give it a little bit of space between there and the actual center of the plane. Alright, and we're gonna want to fold. This plane is gonna have a really heavy nose. We're gonna want to fold this in twice. So that's the nose of the plane. Here's the gun. And now we're going to do a, finally, our jet fold. First, fold this in half. The nose layers, as you're gonna see, they're gonna get a tad messed up. On your second try, you might get it perfect, but it's never really perfect. So you're basically folding from up there to that point right here. Same thing on this side. Of course, at this point, the layers are getting really thick, so you're gonna have to fold through all of that. So we have the cockpit. We're gonna pull out the air intake and make the fins. So all you have to do is kind of inside reverse fold that and just pull these up. Right, there's nothing, the lock is right here, and it's really only gonna hold the center, like this part of the plane together. It's not gonna hold the back. So the back you could probably make do with tape, right? Now you're gonna want to have engines. You've got to kind of fold it like this. Don't need to be perfect, just good enough. You're going to be able to take out this gun, which I forgot to mention actually. Unlike most of my other planes, actually they're kind of retractable, but this one's very much a retractable gun. You don't want it, you just goes in there, and then you could just pull it back out. No like weird contraption there, just a gun. Right, and then shaping this is going to be might be a bit of a tough process. So for these, you're probably really, there's no rules on how you want these to look. You could do whatever you want. You could have them like this, you could do like this maybe, and then like put them up. But the way I do it usually is, obviously your folds should be parallel to the line of the plane. So how I usually do it is either like this, or you could make like little winglets on there, but I'm gonna keep it like this for now. Then you're gonna have the back air intake like that. Now you're gonna take the lock out, this flap, and obviously you basically the way this lock works is that you're kind of pulling it over these layers, and then you're just tucking it back in, right? So it keeps this part, yeah. And now you'll see what I said before about this. If it were like slightly longer, you see how it's like already right there with that lock. It's already they're already kind of rubbing against each other. If it was any like longer, it would probably mess things up. So it's good that we made it a bit shorter. Now you could fold the wings. Right, I'm not exactly doing it perfectly because the plane is extremely thick. And then, but you should fold it from the canards to the right to the back. Then you'll probably fold this in if you want. You don't really need, it's not like you don't need to. If you also want to lock this layer in, then you'd have to like kind of fold that down. It doesn't like lock it in very well, but I don't know, do if you want. So now, as you can see, we've got the engines. Obviously, I'm gonna reshape those. Right, usually after I finish a plane, then you gotta kind of like shape it so that it's gonna look nice and not sloppy. Obviously, no plane is gonna be perfect unless you like make a perfect plane robot that makes perfect planes. Not coming out anytime soon, but. Right, you're gonna want to work on the nose because of all that layers in the nose. It's gonna be a messy nose. So there you have it. Oh, and obviously, if you want, you don't really need it if you don't want your plane to look like just crazy. You could have these air intakes. So, guys, by the way, I'm sorry for not posting a lot. It just, school's pretty busy. I'll try to post when I can. So, there you have it. This is a Firebrand. It should fly. Obviously, it's like the coolest plane ever. It's not going to fly at 200 feet. But it should fly. I've never really measured how far. But, yeah, hopefully you guys were able to finish making this. I know it's a very hard model to make. But I'll see you guys in a later video. Bye.